Oh, we are so back. Alright, Season 6 of The Dragon Prince is being released. Actually, we still have no idea when. If you thought I knew and that's why you clicked, I'm sorry. You're welcome to stay for the ride, or not. But if you stick around, I will let you in on some speculation for when we might be getting it. We do know that the hype season has been ramping up and it's time to cover it. Recently, we got a new clip with Aravos. We have the titles for the episodes, we have screenshots, the early release teaser trailer, and more. And yet, for some reason, they will not give us the release date. All we know is that they said it will come out this year. So let's hope. No, but in all seriousness, we have gotten so little that even though you might have been out of the loop, you can find all of the releases quite easily. So let's hop into the world of teasers, posters, and episode titles and find out if there's anything more we can discover. As most of you know, we got the teaser trailer in November of last year, where we got some beautiful shots, a nice narration by Aravos, and then Claudia doing Claudia things. Also, I know I have my gripe with the character of Terry, but Claudia has got to chill. After that, we got some images and posters, nothing too spectacular, mostly just trying to maintain the hype, but I don't think there's too much here without literally grasping at straws. One of the more interesting things that happened was a little game that one of the co-creators did on Twitter, where he gave hints as to what the episodes were named, which now gives us a full list of the episodes and their names. This is actually all genuinely interesting, but I don't want to get ahead of myself quite yet. The things that we got recently are the things I am most interested in. 2 posters and the latest clip. We got 2 posters with each different captions, 1 week apart from each other, and while they look quite similar, these are in my opinion the coolest pieces of art we have gotten so far, and there are maybe things that we can actually break down here. Firstly, let's take a look at the first one we got. The caption reads, "The moon shimmers as the stars align. Prepare to embark on a celestial journey like no other with The Dragon Prince Mystery of Aravos Season 6 on Netflix." Looking at the poster, we have an elf in the center holding a book with the key of Aravos floating next to them. Yes, this is Aravos. The headpiece is the same as he is wearing in the exposition scene in Season 1, covering the human exile, and well, it's the key of Aravos next to him. This looks to be a much younger version of him though. The key is glowing on the side of the moon primal, as you can find many magic things connected to what we have learned about moon shadow elves and their magic. For one, we have the lotuses, interestingly in different colors. We have the constellations in the top right with faces in them, and since we learned from Rayla about Garlath the Destroyer and other constellations, these are probably their versions of them. We see the moon moths that were used to track down the group of moon shadow assassins in the very first season, and a full moon right next to Aravos' head. Now at the bottom of the poster, we have 2 faces enshrouded in red and white mist. Who these figures are, we don't quite know. Let's first go over the second poster and then we'll break down what they could be. Because in the second we have Aravos in a similar pose with his key once again holding a slightly different book, and the key is glowing with the sky primal. The caption is, "At the eye of the storm, a limitless sky overlooks us in profound silence." Same as before, the whole poster is full of things that we have learned are connected to the sky primal. We have the puffer bats that were killed in order for us to have fart jokes. There's lightning coursing around Aravos and from this sky. There are birds, feathers, a storm, and 2 rainbows. There's a cute little bird on Aravos' arm. I don't think we've seen it before, but it might just be a generic magical bird. But now comes the fun part. What does any of this mean? Firstly, I don't think we should look too much into these as spoilers, since I'm pretty sure that these are a representation of how Aravos learned about every single primal source, and how he perceives them. I think it's quite obvious that we are going in order of the books every week, so next week we are going to get one for the sun. I think that everything that we see, more than them being hints, are just things that we know are part of the culture surrounding their respective primal source. Erebos is one of the very few who mastered all types of magic. And I still get comments on my video about the key of Erebos telling me that it's his prison or the key to his prison. So please just realize that the key existed while he was free. It cannot be his prison or the key to his prison when the prison didn't exist and the key did. I think the key being in these posters, while it shows Erebos learning about the different primal sources, shows that it has more to do with mastering the different primal sources and probably unlocks some sort of knowledge rather than anything else. The two faces in the moon poster are really the most confusing aspect. These might be specific characters, maybe there were Moonshadow Elves who were fighting against others of their kind. But to me the red color is very similar to that of the arrow that Runan shoots in the first season, signifying the blood has been shed and their mission is complete. I think that these faces much more signify the duality within the Moonshadow Elf culture, that they are illusionists and more positively seen. However, some elves with the Moon Primal are also assassins. Their powers are there to shed blood more effectively. This fits with the lotuses that we see that were put out on such missions, and it would definitely be something that Erebos learned in his journey to understanding the Moon Primal. I think more than anything, these posters are not supposed to spoil anything within the season, but give us an insight into young Erebos' mind when he was understanding each source of magic. So more likely than not, we will see more of young Erebos and understand more of his backstory and how he became so powerful. Speaking of flashbacks, we also got a clip from the new season. With the caption, Elf Sad, we got a full minute of Erebos crying in this ethereal plane that we have seen in the intro of every episode in the latest seasons and other promo footage. Then another Startouch elf comes and says the line, "We are, all of us, stardust, held together by love for an instant." You might recognize this line since it is the exact same line that Erebos says over the teaser trailer all the way back in November. We got confirmation of the name of the elf. They are called the Merciful One and are non-binary for those interested, so if I slip up on the pronouns, don't hate me, just tell me and I will continue to do my best. Be honest, with the name the Merciful One and their pure scale in this scene, I think that is simply because Startouch elves are a different kind of entity. This ethereal plane that we see them in is probably not accessible to anyone other than Startouch elves. This might be the way that they perceive the world in their true form or something. The art book mentions that Erebos is now a fallen Startouch elf, so that he can only access a fraction of his power, which might include the ability to access this plane. I wouldn't be surprised if a part of the story will be that a Startouch elf will allow our gang to see this place and be able to understand the vastness of Startouch elves. I don't know, maybe not. I really hope that this next season will manage to stay somewhat grounded and not lose itself in the possibilities of incredibly powerful cosmic beings. Like, that's cool and all, but it might be really hard to tie that back to our otherwise grounded yet magically whimsical world of Xadia. I don't think there is too much more to say about this clip. The new character most likely will be there in Season 6 as a counterforce to Erebos, but I think this clip is from the past, when Erebos lost something. I think this might even be the first time we get to see more of Elarian, more than the quick scene in the beginning of Season 3. Erebos lost Elarian, and he may have still actually cared at the time, and found the ruling of the dragons to be unjust. Alright, actually never mind, I just found something that I think explains who the Merciful One is, but that's for next video. Some were speculating that he was faking his sadness, but I think this scene is showing his turning point from someone who cared and wanted to go about things more nobly to realizing that him caring didn't help, and so now he will force his solution with manipulation and death. I think the voiceover that we got in the teaser trailer is him almost mocking this sentence that he heard, recounting how little the others cared around him. the sentence that may have radicalized him. All of these are just thoughts for now though, and I really hope you will get to at least know when the release date is, and I promised I would let you know my thoughts on that, and I think it's quite simple. We'll probably get more posters every week for each of the primal sources, and then after week 6, that would be the 11th of June, we will get the poster about stars. And with that, the release date. Most likely the release date will then be relatively soon and together with the start of summer. Summer solstice is around the 20th to 22nd of June, depending on the time zone, but they like to release on Fridays, so I would go with the 21st of June. Maybe a bit later and we'll get it in early July. That's my theory. That still gives me plenty of time to share my thoughts with you, and yet might give us a better idea of what to expect when. This is my first video back in quite a long time. I'm sorry for the hiatus. I'm back with ideas. Researching for this video, I already discovered more about the Merciful One that I really want to address, so thank you all for watching. It means a lot to me. If you're interested in the Dragon Prince and want to keep updated with my thoughts and anything new that comes out, you're very welcome to subscribe. Thanks all again. That's all I have for today though. Take care. Bye.